I don't trust nobody, grip the trick. Nobody call up the gang and they come and get gang. Grab me a river, get you to
everybody?
Cooking up with the ooze. My niggas is savage, ruthless. We got 30s and 100 rounds too. My bitch is bad and bullshit bad. Cooking up with the ooze.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
we're in a whole different place, a whole different direction we going in. Gonna let my first off, you know who I am. It's your boy Andre Otis, the one, the only, the former candidate. We gonna get into that tonight.
Yes, we are.
Long story, but we gonna touch on some things. But I'm gonna let my partner in crime. Oh, Rosin will be back soon, so she'll be back. But tonight we got
Henrietta Ivy. You know who it is. It's your girl Ivy, home care advocate, politician, hood politician, whatever you want to call me. But I'm here tonight sitting in with the quarantine with my boy Dre. And listen, guys, we are at a new location. Bigger, better things happening right now. The new location is located at the Black Bottom Historical Community. Our new address for WJZZ Cool TV is 547 Shane. So, you know, you want to come in, chime in. We're going to do it like we do every Friday on the quarantine. But remember, we are at a new location. That new location is the Black Bottom Community, address 547 Shane Street, WJZZ Cool TV. You are watching us live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and please subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZC Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. It's been crazy. It's been chaotic, but you know what it is. We're about to get into it. You're watching WJZZ Cool TV, the quarantine live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ, the coolest.
Did I not just say that?
I want to do it my way.
Okay.
And off again, we already starting, and y'all know how it goes. But you know, I got to touch on a few topics before we get into the real gist of this thing. You know, it's GOTV weekend.
Yes, it is.
A lot of people out here getting their last minute campaigning in. I'm kind of up and down on GOTV weekend because I'm like, if somebody ain't made a decision by now, they might not be going to vote.
That's right.
We got so many things that's on the ballot. I mean, if you're not an educated voter, you don't know what's going on. You're not going, you're not interested anyway.
We're gonna educate you though.
Yeah. First off, secondly. 313-355-6018 is our call-in number. We still do have a call-in number. So with that being said, since I was running, I did lose the election, but mental illness cases are going up. Surprise, surprise. Everything I spoke about is actually happened. Obama came to Detroit. I don't know if you all knew about that. A lot of people did, a lot of people didn't.
We got articles on it.
Which is a shame. Again, you have so many people that's not involved that really don't know a lot of things, and I think they should. Didn't know there was a such thing as turkey chops. I had some, and it blew my mind. You
gotta be kidding.
Yeah. I don't know how you make a big old piece of meat out of a turkey, but
wow,
it was actually good, surprisingly.
Okay.
It's not something I'm going to do again unless I go to the same person, but I mean, they was good.
That's crazy.
I thought it would be cold outside by now, and it's been tricky. I just know that means come January and February, we're going to have a lot of work to do with this shoveling situation because it ain't going to be no good for us.
I'm going to interrupt you there because you did tell me that we was going to have cold weather and we having warm weather, so I'm going to challenge you again. We may not have a bad winter.
Shout out to Darrell Douglas from Detroit Power, Houston Power, my people at the Millennial Roundtable, Michigan Democratic Party Cannabis Caucus, the Young Dems, the Youth Caucus, people that supported me, DPD, ATU Local 26, Roy McAllister Jr., Rosalind Iburn and her family, Henrietta Ivy and her family. So many people that, helped me during this campaign. I just want to give a shout out and some love to some of them, my family especially. Detroit, we got to stand up. We got people that look like us that's really coming for us to help out the other side sometimes. And I know we get on this whole thing about we always got to push black, but hell, what do we do when black is coming against us? These are some of the unfortunate things that we have going on in our society with ourselves that we really need to take a real deep look at because things just not making too much sense. everybody want to be a rapper now. I don't understand it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If you can make good music, you can make good music. But everybody is not supposed to be a rapper.
What's going on with that?
Oh shit, hell if I know. I never wanted to be a rapper, and I mean, I had some skills, and it just wasn't.
40-year-olds out there trying to rap
on a daily basis.
Oh wow.
No hate, but we got to do better.
Yeah.
Let's start taking care of our community. Let's start doing those kind of things before everybody try to make it hot. Man, y'all see we got the nice little quarantine background and everything. I know y'all like, damn, yeah, we upgraded. I told y'all we upgraded, man. It look good. I probably talked enough, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more. Elon Musk and bought Twitter. I know y'all done heard about that. It's crazy. The attorney charged in the murder of the jewelry store owner, the Hutch jewelry store owner. I don't know if you remember. His attorney was charged in setting that up. It's that whole story is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Wow, that blew my mind.
Yeah, and it really. Okay, so I'm gonna end it with this: Dems versus GOP versus the people. Who really wins? We got two-party system, and a two-party system for black people. Guess what? You got two parties. Some look like they care. The other ones just show you they don't care. Right. Again, where do we have people that going to meet in the middle and actually get work done for the people?
Right.
The people suffer when we have two parties and all they're doing is fighting against each other, not getting a damn thing done. Mm-hmm. There's no reason that we have all these mental illness cases. All the things that we talk about on a daily basis that's still not being taken care of, but then we go out and not vote or vote for people that we know shouldn't be in office. Mm-hmm. So we got to start looking at things ourselves. As I've been saying recently a lot, everything is not the boogeyman, because the boogeyman sometimes you invite into your own closet. Mm-hmm. Once we get to the actual accountability of the situation, we can start being better. Mm-hmm. We got to stop with all the doggone, that just scared to stop with the doggone pussyfooting and holding the hands of the things. Let's talk about the real of what's going on. Let's be accountability is real.
Yeah.
And once we start realizing we got to be accountable for what we're doing to ourselves, we'll be a lot better.
I agree.
With that being said, I have spoke enough, and I don't feel like speaking until we get into these topics. But my co-host here obviously has some things to bring to the forefront for us, so we're going to pass it to Miss Henrietta Ivy. Shout out to Rosin again, who wasn't here to do the Rise spot, but we're going to introduce another section called
The Poison. Politically speaking,
with Henrietta Ivy. Shoot.
Thank you, Dre. Listen, Roz, we miss you. We love you. We can't wait to have you back in here with the trio. So I know you'd probably like a lot of us getting ready for GOTV. We got November 8th coming up. You're out there with like a lot of the organizers and activists and organizations out here pushing, trying to make sure we get people up and ready with a voting plan to get them at the polls November 8th. So it's a lot of work. I understand. I'm with you. Out there with you too, sis. So great job, and I can't wait to have you back at the table with us so we can all, get here and just give it like we give it. So listen, guys, November 8th is coming up. It's like 4 days from the election. There's been a lot of things going on, a lot of conversations happening in the community. I'm a community organizer, and I do a lot of conversating with pocket issues with people in the community during this election up to the time that we get them out to vote. And I'm happy to report, Dre, that I have spoken to a host of young people in their 20s, and yes, they are voting. So shout out to my young people who have actually made a decision to get up, stand up, and use your power and use your voice. You are voting. Thank God for that, because we need you voting. This is your time. This is your generation. And so I'm glad to see that a lot of them are out voting, and a lot of them have made a decision to take their lives into their own hands by using their power to vote. So thank you for that. There's been a lot of activity going on in the city of Detroit in the last couple of days, probably the last few weeks, but I do know of some things that are going on with trying to get out the vote. I want to say there's an article in the Michigan Chronicle with Lieutenant Garland Gilchrist, talking about engaging young voters, people to vote. And I want to read a little bit of this article. And it says, let me get that for you. This is an article by Sherry Collard of the Michigan Chronicle. I hope I pronounced your last name right, Miss Collade. But the article talks about Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist engaging the youth to vote. Dre and I, Dre, I, and Roz, we talked about this a lot on the quarantine back last year and some part of this year, trying to figure out how do we get our young people out voting. And something's happening because they're doing it. Like, they are doing it. I am talking to them, and they are already to cast their vote or going to cast their vote. So this article reads, the general elections in Michigan is an opportunity for residents to let their voices be heard through the democratic process. More often than not, eligible young people choose not to vote due to apathy, meaning a lack of understanding about how to get registered or how to vote, or a lack of engagement by government or voter registration efforts. Black millennials, see there we go, we're here, and the Gen Z the Gen Z voters also need to know how to critically think about their vote when it comes to voting, impacting the outcome of any election, local, citywide, state, or federal. So what that is saying is, you don't just think about voting when it comes to the president election. That's where we've been failing at.
But that's what they taught us.
And that's what has been taught. That is true. Unfairly, it has been taught that the most important election is your president election. And that has been engraved in the black community for generations and generations and generations.
Keep us ignorant.
To keep that part.
But I'm going to go ahead.
Oh, no, you're right. For the past 154 years, black Americans have faced major disparities and inequalities in accessing the right to vote. As a result, black Americans have been less informed and engaged both in local and national elections, political initiatives, and major legislation. All, is tying in. The first-time voters and the youngest constituents in the state, ensuring that the electoral process is fair and equitable. Lieutenant Garland Gilchrist, shout out to you, Garland. You just know how to get out there and get some stuff done, and we appreciate you. Gilchrist is making a concrete effort by prioritizing the concerns of the youth, right? And he has told Michigan Chronicle that getting young people involved in voting rights and being involved, whether voting for the first time, whether coming back as a return voter, or on the fence. Get those people that's like, I don't know if I want to vote. I don't think it's going to mean anything. Or, if I do and it don't, it's going to make me not want to vote again. Well, here it is. We want you to continue to vote. We understand that you're scared. And we understand that voting before did not yield your community the things that were promised. And that goes to schools. You got your politicians who knock the doors only for during the election and telling people, yeah, we're going to bring you better schools. And yes, we're going to clean up your neighborhood. And those abandoned houses down the street, we're going to tear them down when I'm in office. And to be fair, I'm guilty of it too. We go with that. And this is only because they figured out what our issues are. So now they say, well, I'm going to knock the door and I'm going to use their issues against them. So I can understand why, the younger voters are like, kind of a little like, on the fence about it. But, to make a difference, Garland said, he's interested in making sure that every person in our communities truly feel that they are a part of determining how those in our communities move forward. Young people own the future. And young people are in the role of making change. So this 2022 midterm election has cast a major light on the future of this country, the future of our communities when it comes to education, healthcare, voting rights, abortion rights, student loans, and other issues. Every vote will be crucial in determining what that future looks like. So with that being said, we are a movement has started with the youth and the millennials. And thank God, because somebody is listening, and we need that to happen in order for things to work and move forward in our communities, and we need our young people voting. And that is my politically speaking on the Poison Report.
Thank you for that. I'm a different person, man. We got to stop allowing politicians to come in and lie, but we got to start voting too. We got to start holding people accountable when you say you're going to represent somebody and we just disappear and we don't say anything when we see trash and stuff being dumped or the doggone houses burnt up everywhere. it's our fault sometimes. They only pimping you the way you supposed to be pimped. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to allow yourself to be pimped for a vote, guess what? Pimping ain't easy.
It ain't.
And they sure know how to make it happen with some of these political people. So
what is your stance on what do you think needs to be done? I know we have had I've given a lot of information on, and read some articles on what some leaders are doing, like Garland Gilchrist and other leaders who are really trying to promote young people to vote. What is your stance on how we can get this done too?
We gonna get into that later on because we already there. But I do want to say you're watching the quarantine live streaming on. You are watching the quarantine on WJZZ Cool TV. Live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And you all can give us a call at 313-355-6018 to join in on the conversation. With that being said, as you all know who've been with us on this journey, I ran a campaign. And I actually ran for Wayne County Commissioner.
You did.
And I got my behind beat. But it was
it was a learning lesson.
I wouldn't say it was a learning lesson.
You wouldn't?
It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I just thought I was going to be on the other side of it.
Okay.
All of my math was right. All of my voting numbers and van and all that stuff was correct.
Okay.
My math was all the way correct.
Okay.
I just think I must have went to all the wrong people or something. But it was a journey. It was a learning experience. It was one heck of a time. I was out there able to hit the doors and meet some very important people. A voter, you're an important person. I mean, you're a human being person. Period. You're an important person.
Absolutely.
But I don't think I've stopped since August 2nd.
Okay.
And I don't plan on stopping. I will be back. I'm going to be back. You can't stop somebody like me. It was just another speed bump that I put out on the street that I had to run the speed. You know what it is. A lot of people forgot I must have been the one that was out there to get y'all speed bumps. It's all good,
That's right.
Y'all forgot about Roman Costa Jr. too.
Okay.
So who am I?
Hey.
But at the end of the day, there is still work to be done.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere again. I thank you for assisting. I thank everybody that was involved. It was a full-on team effort. It turned into an actual operation, and I'm proud to say that we got some work done. We didn't get to the ultimate goal, but at the end of the day, there were some lessons learned. There were some weird incidents that occurred.
Okay.
I'm not going to get too deep into it. But there were some people that hurt me pretty deep, cut me pretty hard during this campaign. You just have to realize there are some emotional people out here.
Okay.
And they get a little too emotional and make emotional decisions and don't realize how a decision can hurt your future and their future and a lot of futures involved.
Right.
But again, lesson learned. There's some people that they know we need to have a conversation, and I'm not going to back down until we have that conversation. So if you're watching tonight, you know we need to have a conversation.
Here it is.
But yes, I will be back. Yes, I will be running again.
Yes, you will.
2024, 2025, 2026. Look, I'm going at least, let me see, I'm 39. So by the time I'm whatever next age, I should be somewhere doing something.
Absolutely, no doubt.
I'm unemployed, so if y'all
you did not just throw
know
that
somebody that's hiring, I'm available.
He's available.
The thing is, a lot of people run for people like me because I'm aggressive. I'm gonna go out here and help the people. I'm gonna answer those phone calls. I'm gonna be in your face and let you know, look, we not doing this, we not doing that. So and so need this, so and so needs that. A lot of people cannot handle their own camp holding their feet to the fire. So I get it. But again, I'm unemployed. So whoever out there got the gumption to know somebody that want to pull the trigger on a very, very, very talented community person like myself.
Absolutely.
Get the job done. Trust me, you'll be proud. Just help me get the job done so I can help you get the job done and make you look better.
Okay. And that's
make the community look better. Make whatever district you serve look better.
That's right. You can
what-
get the job done, no doubt.
What is some of your takes from this campaign?
You know what, Dre? It has been an amazing journey working with you during this campaign. I already knew of your talents. I knew of your talents.
Go ahead.
I knew of your talents and everything, and I wanted to be a part of that because I knew that what you had to offer the community is what the community needed. And watching you out there in action, talking to people, literally putting your passion and your concern in the community wholeheartedly, they got the opportunity to see that as well. And for me, the takeaway for me is we'll be back.
Yeah.
You know this, and when you're talking about, what you learn, I think what we all learned in this process, when you running against an incumbent who has a strong base, but it didn't scare you for not running.
You know, that's the weird part about it. This whole strong base thing. Mm-hmm. People, what really is a strong base if the actual community doesn't know you?
Well, you know,
and I get it. That strong base thing is just what is our problem with American politics. Mm-hmm. You got 10,000 people that just know a name. Mm-hmm. 8,000 of them got money, so they really don't give a damn whether this gets done or that gets done. They got enough money to shell out to get things taken care of.
Okay.
When you got a few thousand that, be clear about it, we have some sheeple that just look at some of these endorsements. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Woo! Had to get the booger out my eye with that
Lord.
You learn a lot
you do.
being a candidate. And I don't want to say it's a lot of pay to play, but it's a lot of pay to play.
But that's true. You're just speaking facts.
The fact that somebody doesn't endorse you just off of what you present, what your interview goes like, they endorse you off of, well, can this person pay the fee? The endorsement fee. You know, that's like,
That's
Detroit, wake up.
Right.
Everybody that and I said it during my campaign, everybody that you see on campaign literature may not be the person for that position.
That's true.
But they had a bank account to make it happen. Mm-hmm. They had donors or friends or family or their own pockets to make it happen.
Okay.
So let's not get it twisted. All these endorsements are not really an endorsement. Mm-hmm. It's you had $500, you had $1,000, you had $250 to say, okay, we'll endorse you because we got that money to go. First off, let's be clear. We had money to get printing and stuff done.
Right, we did.
Where's all that money going that all these candidates pay? If you look at some of these endorsement sheets, you got about 11, 12, 13, 20 candidates on there, and all of them pay the fee. That means somebody don't have to go to work for a few months if everybody getting a cut out of these fees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you talking about 20 people times 5,000 or $500,
that's a lot of money.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's be clear, we got to do better. But
let me just elaborate a little bit on that. This is where voter engagement gets into play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we know, and we've already explained to the community how some of this politic work, that you want the person that you want to be in office, but in order for that person to get in office and run against somebody who has the money to play, which means that's where voter engagement and voter strength comes into play. That means the community got to get out and vote. You can't say, yeah, I like what you're saying, and I'm going to get up and vote. And in the morning of the time of voting,
right,
you're sitting on the porch barbecuing and smoking and drinking. Don't get me wrong. I like a good morning barbecue and a good morning party as well. But first of all, I want to say, hey, I want my candidate to get in. So I got me and my homegirls, we're going to rally up in my car. We're going to go put our vote in, and then we're going to come back home and we're going to do what we do. So it definitely is a way to win as a new candidate, and that's called people getting out to vote.
Austin said, and what's up to everybody watching us on Facebook
Hello,
Live?
Facebook watchers.
My homeboy said it's hard when people vote off name recognition alone. They are lazy and they do not do research and learn who these people are. And you're right.
You're right.
That's part of the problem.
Big
People
time.
don't do their research.
Nope.
We got to stop it. But let's move on. I lost. It is what it is.
You know what?
It's still work to do.
Right, it's still work to do. I wouldn't call it a loss. I'll call it a comeback.
Oh, I definitely got set up for a comeback.
Flat out.
My setback was a hell of a setup for a comeback. So
for sure.
I definitely be back. But with that being said, we do have elections coming up again.
Oh, I got some stuff.
This coming what is it?
Tuesday, November 8th. What do you guys?
People, please.
Listen.
I'm going to ask you first off. Let me do another station ID. You are watching the Quarantine live streaming on. I know I've been out a while, man. I got to get back to doing
okay.
this.
You
You
wanna
are
grab
watching.
it?
Please.
Listen, you are watching the Quarantine live on WJZZ Cool TV. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZC Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
I'll get back to getting my voice with this thing soon, y'all, because I'm all like,
You'll get it.
You can give us a call at 313-355-6018 again to join the conversation. Just join us on Facebook like some people have. With that being said, again, we have elections coming up this week. I'm nervous. I'm going to be honest with you. I am nervous. We got this dude that stole ballots that's running for attorney general and the permit, whatever his name. You know, I'm not even gonna get their names out.
I don't want to, but I don't want to give them no glory.
It sounds like that attorney general race is a toss up. This whole Secretary of State thing is just hilarious because you got the lady that believes that Democrats eat babies and drink blood and all this stuff.
Isn't that crazy? That's
I ain't never ate no. First off, ain't no babies going in me.
I don't know no Democrat that have.
I don't know anything about eating or drinking babies'
blood and
I ain't drinking no babies.
sacrificing the percent. Look.
No, I am not drinking babies. Wow, but yeah,
a lot of extreme things.
And to run for an actual political, like again. How did some of these people get so far? You know, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a God. I can't, question what he does in his timing, but it'd be like, whoa, okay. But anyway, we have the governor's race coming up.
Yep.
I'm praying that this thing goes the right way because we need it to stay. We don't need to go backwards. We don't need any radical stuff coming in because I told people a long time ago, when redistricting came and they came in and put us in the pie and start slicing Detroit, we better hope they don't decide to start eating. Because we already a pie right now. It's already cut up. If they decide to start eating, we in trouble.
Yeah.
And then you come into proposal 1. I'm not
legislative term limits, financial disclosures amendment.
I like Miles, shut up, man.
Hey, Miles.
I'm just not liking how 2 bills were put into one. Let's make the legislative term limits a bill by itself, or proposal by itself, and let's make the financial disclosure amendment a bill. I mean, a proposal by itself. Because once you wrap those two, one of them I'm for, one of them I'm not. So now I have to make the decision of, am I going to go for this or go for that, just to have one cancel out the other? Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to do that.
Or one may not cancel out the other. It may just be attached to it.
Well, I'm looking at it like this.
So.
We know we have a voting issue in the city of Detroit. We know that we just went through redistricting.
Right.
If I give somebody 12 years that's new, that means that's 12 years I have to deal with this person that's not doing anything because guess what again? We have a voting problem in Detroit. So let's just say Donald Trump just came here and ran and won. And for 12 years, he keeps getting back in. Damn. 12 years I got to deal with this person because I went out and voted.
But nobody else did.
But 15,000 other people in this district didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm nervous with that whole situation there.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
We had that discussion the other day. We talked about that term limit being that if we had a security that the Democrats would be in control of these houses, the Senate in the state in Michigan or the Senate in the state in Congress in Washington, if that's the person we choose to keep in place because they're doing great things, that term limit could be beneficial.
Right, it can.
But here's where the slippery slope and you sliding down, a needle cloth into some alcohol. What if the wrong people get in?
And that's my point.
And so now, if people who see this, if they don't understand what these proposals mean, and this is directed toward the voters, you have to understand what you're voting for. And if they don't understand, if somebody coming along to tell a person who's not politically inclined or understand what certain things and certain languages mean, and you knocking on them doors and say, yeah, okay, I'm for that. Yeah, because but they not understand you're not understanding the whole concept of it. It could be dangerous. And so these proposals pass. And now we all suffer because people didn't understand why they voted for it. It sounds good. So we got to get out of the habit of things sounding good, or someone from our church and our pastor said, and my evangelist said, and my union said for me to do this. You got to think for yourself. You got to say, okay, my union telling me or my pastor telling me to vote for certain things, but let me do my research. So it's very beneficial and very critical and crucial for people to research these proposals. And if it's something in that language you don't understand, there are dictionaries and thesaurus. Look it up.
Not even just that. I'm sure you know somebody that can help you understand. Which gonna lead us into that next conversation that we're gonna have about what time we have.
8:33. We got a few minutes.
I think I might want to get into it soon, but we're gonna get into it.
Okay.
Well, no, not yet.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that when we start voting for people, we got to stop being so partisan so hard. Because when I get into seat, if I'm ready to work on something, again, mental illness should be something everybody should be able to wrap their damn minds around.
Absolutely.
The fact that we still have not worked together to get a bipartisan legislation on mental health and care for that's a problem for me. Because how can we not get together on something like that?
Absolutely.
Everybody should almost know somebody that got something going on.
I believe we do.
And if you don't, you are so privileged.
That part.
So Dennis said you lose a lot of black representation with a yes vote on one, especially redistricting. And that's my point.
That's your point.
That's my whole point. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I just said it again. Detroit has been sliced up into a pie, and a lot of our money and a lot of our representatives go out to counties that they've never had to go out before, representing people that they may have never had to represent before, and we have to figure out somehow, some way to align with these people. What does somebody on Outer Drive and 7 Mile have to do with somebody on Shane or out by Hoover and 10 Mile?
Right.
Those are two different situations.
Yeah.
Two different cities, two totally different incomes, obviously.
Yep.
So again, where does that alignment come? Because they want something else, and this person right here on 7 Outer Drive definitely wants something else.
Absolutely.
So
the needs are totally different.
Yeah.
Totally
so
different.
How does a representative now split that like that and actually be effective with both sides unless you're out doing the work now? And guess what? After August 2nd, I keep saying it. I've said it before. I haven't been able to say it on this show. But where have the people been since August 2nd? Everybody that's campaigning now has been school board and judges, which they should have been out in August. I don't agree with this half pussyfooting stuff that we do. And we go out here and we got to wake up.
We do.
Because, again, if we don't, we are in trouble. My homeboy Miles, he ran over in a district that literally was split like that.
Yes, he did.
And I'm not going to say his opponent hasn't been doing anything, but up to this point, that 7 and outer drive area has not met their representation.
Yep.
And that's a scary thing when you're not out now. And come January 1st, this is who y'all got to look up to.
Yep.
This is who's going to be helping you. This is where your assistance is supposed to come from. And again, we've really got to start looking at this thing with a finer comb than what we do. Because game can be over real soon for the city of Detroit.
True.
And I know I've said it to you in personal conversation before. I know you've been like, no, but you see it now. And a lot of people are not starting to see it. I just need more people to wake up. The dudes at the gas station, guess what? You was a felon, so what? You can vote. Make your voice heard.
Make your voice heard.
A lot of guys out here on child support. Guess what? You can go vote. There's judges that actually are at these circuit courts and put this stuff on you. Guess what? Go vote. Vote for a judge that you think is going to represent you.
That's right.
People be talking about food stamps and things like that. Guess what? If you look at what Snyder did, Snyder cut some things when he was in office. Guess what? That was off of a vote. So when you start making this thing make sense for certain people, guess what? One day you can be without these amenities. And we're actually have people that's trying to go towards that. You don't really want to see that day, because I sure as hell don't.
Me neither.
Look, I just said I'm unemployed. I just got me a Bridgie. I need that good orange card. You know what I'm saying? So
well, lucky you, because I still don't qualify.
Well, you work. So again, we ain't talking about the working. I'm not a part of the working class right now.
Oh my God!
I'm doing some auditions, but I'm not working.
Well, but again, you mentioned about the amenities, and when we talk about all these different legislative laws, all these, the Roe versus Wade, all these things they're trying to roll back into those days of the civil rights era, and what I want and I think that has motivated young people to actually get out and vote is the fact that we are not only talking about reproductive rights of a woman, we're talking about a legislator that's tied to those reproductive rights bills.
AKA the orange visas, Dennis said. You doggone right that mother the orange visas.
I love them. I wish I can get one. I
can't wait till the 7th come in.
You know what?
I might go get me some lemonade at 1 in the morning.
But so we have to be careful, and we have to understand the importance of voting and understanding what these proposals mean when we talk about using our vote, because sometimes we can use our vote to still hinder ourselves, and then it becomes one of those things of I voted and this is what happened, so I'm not voting again. But we have a responsibility to ourselves to say, okay, I want to vote. So someone has told me, has knocked on my door and say, I'm here to bring you some information, but I always tell community, research it. Don't take my word for it. Research it. Because the more you research, the more you become understanding of what it means to you and how it will affect your communities. So you're right. If people don't understand that and all these amenities, if these laws get rolled back, don't sit next to me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my young people, don't sit next to me if I got to go back to a time where I can't be who I am right now. And that is, we're talking slave mentality. We're talking, I'm a black woman and I have no rights, period. So when they start rolling back rights of a woman's reproductive, they rolling back the rights for everything attached to it. And let me tell y'all young folks, y'all keep saying, well, they can't do that and I'm going to fight it, I'm going to do this. Let me tell you something, what you going to do when them tanks rolling in?
Man, look.
So it's important moving forward in every election up until the presidential election to use your power of the vote and to understand what you're voting for and find out if these people are worthy of your vote. I don't care if they go to your church.
Right.
I don't care if they somebody's friend. And stop voting for people because they're cute and handsome alone. It works, but you want to make sure that cute or that handsome face has the qualifications to run those.
First off, that might have got me 5 votes.
Listen, but you were qualified.
Yeah, I was qualified. They ain't what the people said. So the so-called lies that's going around, and I'm cute or handsome, that didn't get me nowhere.
I'm just talking about in reality. There are a lot of people who vote based on looks.
I look like a little Ewok. That must have been what it was.
So, and in all, what I'm saying is just know the importance of voting, understand why you're voting, and use your vote wisely and productively.
Right. Well, that being said, Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching us live. We are the Quarantine, live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. You can give us a call at 313-355-6018 or doing what you've been doing. And these
Jump
comments
online.
is crazy on Facebook, man.
Yeah, they are.
Handsome got the door open. Hey, man.
Hey, it works. It works. No,
Look,
I'm not saying
it might
it
have
don't
got
work.
the door open, but it was just a crack.
But
If
don't
I
let it
didn't
be
get
the
all
only
way-
reason.
Look,
Listen, I'm trying to
it
be
will
honest
never be the
about
only
it.
reason.
Not for you. I'm just saying when we talk about using our vote for real, for real.
so we gonna get into it.
Okay.
There's a lot of people. What time we got?
It is. Let me see what we have here. The time we have now, it is 8:41.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
We have got to keep up this same damn energy in 2023 that everybody's putting in right now. To anybody that knows somebody with some money, there's two organizations I'm a part of. One is already going. One will be up and running soon. But for the last few years, Millennial Roundtable been a joint venture that Councilman Roy McAllister Jr. put out when he was in office. We're still going hard. Department of Voter Engagement organization Miss Ivy started. I'm a part of now. We looking to do some big things, but
Yes,
this
sir.
energy that everybody has over this election this year has to keep going next year. You need to find real people like us in the Millennial Roundtable that's going to be out here still doing the work. What's going on in the community? Where do you need to be to meet your elected officials?
Exactly.
I'm so tired of us only caring in election years. The work is done when ain't nobody on the ballot.
Right.
But we're so backwards, we only think about the years that people are having to rush to the polls. Now, that's cool, but that means there's a year that you're not holding anybody accountable.
Right.
That means that's a year that somebody's just sitting back doing what they want to, just chilling, and nothing's getting done.
Nothing's getting done.
You getting hyped, getting ready for 2024 for the presidential election, but 2023 is here. Let's not just keep worrying about presidential years and election years. These off years have to become important.
Yeah.
People should be on your doors letting you know what's going on.
Right,
And
right.
the problems and the issues. Who's doing this and who's doing... We really need to start a report card. That's one thing I want to do, a part of the Millennial Roundtable. You've been in a year. What have you done? Can we really go here and ... and put on this little card and say, you've done this, and give you a grade A, or fail the hell out of you?
Makes sense.
This is something that people need to start seeing, because again, we cannot keep living off of name recognition.
Right.
Name recognition getting people that's, and I'm not an age discriminant person, but I believe at 80, 90 years old, that flame that you have should be getting passed to somebody
Absolutely.
to fight against people like this new radical Republican Party.
Absolutely. Because they're preparing they're young.
If
Let's be clear.
you fall asleep at the wheel, or you pass out at the wheel, that means this other side's winning because you're not fighting.
They're not preparing, they're young.
But why? Why is it that we have
And
a
that's the
problem with prepping the future?
That's the problem. And and you need to get into that, because we've had you, Roz, a lot of us have talked about this passing of the torch. Like, why are our older elected officials so dead set against the passing this information to the young, or preparing it so at this moment when they are no longer capable of serving the community that they serve for 30, 40, 50 years? To me, that's a long time still, because you still want to be able to, you want to get some fresh meat in there before the old meat dry up. And it's like, we need to start working on that. You know, elected officials who are aging out need to start preparing the younger people for it. And I mean, seriously, sitting them down, getting them ready for this fight moving forward. Because the other side has done it, they're still doing it, and they're going to continue to do it. That's why they're winning in certain things. And and the fight for us become harder. We have to fight harder when they just fight, but we fight harder because we're up against them, and they're prepared. We are not.
And that's why, I clung on to Councilman McAllister so hard, because Dog was a genius before anybody really knew it, and he really didn't get his just due.
Right. I agree.
Again, to the people, I'm not gonna go there tonight, but at the end of the day, he was putting together some things that really would have benefited Detroit,
Right.
benefited the city of Detroit, benefited District 2. Putting certain people in key places. What we need to understand is just because you don't agree with somebody doesn't mean they're supposed to be out of office.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of people that you have agreed with and disagreed with that you keep putting in.
That's right.
As hard as y'all came for that person or Councilman Callister, you should have came for a lot of these other people that's just sitting around not doing anything.
I agree.
But again, this is one of those things what I talk about in these off years, these election years, the conversations that need to be had.
Exactly.
If nobody's going to go out and have these tough conversations, you can get people that's going to come and do what they did.
Exactly. I agree.
And this is where we have to mature as people, as the electorate of the city of Detroit. We cannot just allow the yit yak and the BS to keep going on. Because again, the pie has been cooked. It's been taken out the doggone oven, sliced, and they just waiting to see if it's going to go on the plate or not. I don't want us to be on anybody else's plates. Unfortunately, I can't do it alone. We can't do it alone. Miles can't do it alone. Still can't do it alone. And so many other people can't do this work alone. So this is why it's important for next year. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I need a job. I need the Millennial Roundtable to get some money. Y'all know some grant money out there. Send it our way.
Absolutely.
I need Dub to get some grant money so we can get down here and actually do the work. Because it takes being out there from 8 to 6, 9 to 5, meetings in the middle of the night to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
And it takes warriors and money to get that done.
Yes, it does.
So, I mean, 2023 is going to be a big year.
Yes, it is.
We're not just going to allow it to go by as a year that just was slept on. Because those days are over when you have people like us.
That's right.
When you have people like Miles, Steele, Chastity Youngblood, Matthew Johnson, Darrell Douglas. I mean, Ernestine. Like it's so many people that's doing work now that's young.
Yes.
Young.
Young.
But you don't hear from us because we listen to what we shouldn't be listening to. We're quiet when we should be loud. We're on Facebook all day long arguing about stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on around the corner from you. A lot of these people that's rich don't give a damn about what you are going through.
They really don't.
And the fact that we get so caught up and fight each other and get into arguments and damn near want to beat each other down over dumb conversation is crazy. We've got to get the community and the family backing us.
Yes, true.
The other side is winning, but we're playing a part of it. We're allowing it. Again, the boogeyman isn't just boogieing by itself anymore. We're starting to allow the boogeyman in and party with him. So if we're a part of something that's going to scare us and take us out, how bad is the boogeyman really?
Right.
Are we not complacent in our own demise?
That was profound.
You have 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds out robbing people at a higher rate than I've ever seen before. And we all know that a lot of these kids are being taught by, unfortunately, older men.
I was going to say older people, yep.
We got to do better. If we don't do better,
we're going to be devoured.
It's coming.
It's coming.
But we're going to get ready to start wrapping up here.
Yes,
what time we got?
8:50 on the nose.
So it's 8:50. I know you got some things you want to close with because I'm going to close out and we're going to get it going.
So listen up, everybody. November 8th is Election Day. But this weekend, you have the Department of Elections will be open. So if you want to still go down there and get registered to vote and cast your early absentee ballot, you can do it this weekend from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I believe Saturday the Department of Elections will be open. Also, there are proposals on your ballots. If you don't understand them, please reach out to someone who may be able to explain it to myself. I am a voter engager trainer, and I can really get you on board about what these things mean. Get you educated on it so you can make the best choice for yourself, your family, and our communities. We have the partisan section of the ballots, which is your U.S. congressional representatives, governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretary of state, Wayne County executives, sheriffs, and commissioners, state senators, representatives, state board of education members, board members, and local state colleges of universities on your partisan section of your ballot. Please choose wisely. Nonpartisan is your Michigan Supreme Court, probate circuit, and district judges. Community advisory. I'm sorry, couldn't get that out of my mouth. Community advisory councils, which that's something new. That's on your ballot too.
CAC.
And your Detroit Public School Board members, nonpartisan section of your ballot, and you have your proposals. Please, people, understand. If you don't understand, please reach out. I am Henrietta. I have my executive director of Dove. We have all these other people that you can reach out to who will get you up and ready and educated on making the best choice for yourself, your family, and our communities. Dre, I'm throwing it back to you.
Okay, with that being said, thank you so much again. You all know, like I said, we have a very important election coming up. But after this election comes up, don't just walk away from doing your job. Your job is to hold these people accountable. Your job is to make sure that this boogeyman that y'all keep talking about, the white person, isn't out there doing those things that you don't want them doing. Again, there is no boogeyman if you partying with them. If you can go out and knock out somebody, and I don't mean fight, I'm talking about knock their dome off, split their head wide open for no doggone reason but other than a dice game. If you can go out and kill somebody that looks like you over something so silly, I mean, just like in Tales from the Hood, Dog said, hey man, I could recruit you because you're doing the same thing I'm doing. Hey, let's work together and kill all of y'all. You already doing it for free.
For free.
We've got to get to a point to where we are back as a community, as a family. Everything doesn't mean that you got to be killed over it.
That's
Sometimes a simple conversation can be had. Everything does not have to come down to blood spill. I'm so tired of going to young people's funerals. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
We already dying at an alarming rate. Why do we have to do it ourselves? And don't get me wrong, I was out there before. But at some point, when do you grow up? Somebody has to grow up and decide I'm going to be the bigger person and walk away.
That's
The
right.
unfortunate part is that an immature person may not allow you to walk away. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad that we were able to be back tonight. Again, we're back full
Yes.
swing of things.
Yes,
I know
we were.
y'all missed me because I missed y'all. I didn't know what I was doing my Friday nights anymore after this election. I used to sit in a corner and just cry and ask God, what am I doing? And he said, go back to your show.
Go back to your show.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great night. The quarantine is back.
Yes,
we
we
looking
are.
good. We looking different.
Yes,
Things
we
are
are.
moving. I know y'all see my little background back here. Say the quarantine.
Yes.
I like it.
It's nice.
So, thank you. What time do we have?
It is almost.
Oh, it's
there you go.
8:54. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Quarantine live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We'll have our Cash App soon. We need some money
Yes,
to help
we
make
do.
this thing roll.
Yes. And we need y'all to come out and join us.
Yeah.
We want to hear your voices.
So,
there it is.
ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all back here next week with some post-election analysis conversation.
Yes. And we will have the Rise Report.
Yep, and we hopefully have some of these Millennial Roundtable people in here.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Good
Love
night.
you. Nice being back. Let's
And
make
it's
it happen.
Quarantine.
Quarantine.